Welcome to another episode of the Elevated Barbers Podcast. My name is Bradford Kelly, and we have a very special guest for you that is going to be speaking to you a lot about how to be creative in the space of barbering. So stay tuned.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on, people? This is the Prince, the owner of Royal Luxe Grooming, co-host of the one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast. And like Bradford said, we have a very special guest coming on our show today, all the way from the city of Dallas, Texas. He is a man of many hats. He is an awesome content creator, even more awesome barber and businessman. I want to welcome to the stage, Mr. Ray Lucas.
Yo, what's going on? I feel like I need to pay y'all for that intro. Man, that was amazing. kind of feel like somebody's sitting up here right now, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on, man.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you coming on, man. You being, a guest on our platform is payment enough for us. We just appreciate having someone as you on our platform and being able to speak to other barbers who are trying to, be business minded and elevate in this industry and be able to talk to them and let them know some of the knowledge and expertise that you have. And I want to lead off with that by asking, how long have you been in the barbering industry?
As of today, it's been roughly 32 years now. So I've been barbering since 1992. Picked up my first pair of clippers 92. Stumbled upon them actually, and what I ain't know is when I turned them on, I didn't feel them moving. So I'm like, man, what's going on with these clippers? But if you know about the Andes Masters, and that's what they was. That was like the first pair of clippers that I came into. I was like, this blade don't feel like it's moving at all, but it actually was working. I just didn't know nothing about them. So it's been since 1992, man. Long journey.
When did you get your license?
The crazy thing is I went straight from high school to barber school. So I knew, when I first started cutting hair, that's what I wanted to do. Like it wasn't no plans on doing nothing else. Like this is what I want to be, So I ended up going to barber school, got in some trouble when I went to barber school. So I ended up getting kicked out of barber school.
Oh,
yes. It's crazy. It's a whole story behind that, man. I'm telling you. So hanging out, me and my guys just being reckless, smoking weed, coming back into school, blazed up. They gave us a few warnings. We didn't take heed to them, and they just got tired of us. Like, hey, we'll send y'all home. Don't come back until we call y'all. And that was a whole year. So I pretty much got exterminated.
Wow.
From barber school. I was supposed to get my license in 96, and I had to come back and do everything over again. So it was like I had to start barber school all over again.
Yeah. So
I didn't get licensed and even after I finished, I didn't go and directly get my license.
You didn't go straight to the state board?
Nah, man. Nah. That's a familiar story probably with a lot of barbers who operating without a license probably right now.
Yeah.
But I didn't officially get my license until I want to say 2002.
Wow.
So I was a renegade.
Yeah, you a criminal barber. That's what I call it.
Pretty much. If they was allowing to let me cut in their shop without a license, cool.
Right.
But
you got the criminal barbershop owners too.
Yeah, and that's how they gonna treat you too. Because if you don't got a license, you got to play by their rules.
Yeah.
So they gonna coming in, they gonna give you as least as possible. Yeah. So they might take 70 and give you 30. What you gonna say? You don't have nothing to.
That's the normal. So I know some unlicensed people that was in shops, they had to split 50-50 because they didn't have a license.
Yeah, they was taking 70 and would give you 30. You don't have nothing to stand on. You don't have no bargaining chips. Yeah. It's like we doing you a favor because you really got to be here.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like I played that game for a few years until it just got
I'm
old.
taking the risk.
Yeah, until it got old. Like, nah, this ain't working. I need to go get my license. I need a little more leverage than that.
Yeah.
So have you always? I was gonna ask, have you always been in Dallas?
Nah, I'm born and raised in Chicago.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, me and my family touched down in Dallas in 2014. So in October it'll be 10 years been in Dallas. Yep.
Nice. I got family ties in Chicago, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my pops from Chicago.
Oh really? That's what's up. Yeah,
I had my first allergic reaction in Chicago.
Yeah, to what? What was that to?
Man, I have no idea, man. But I went there and I was looking like Hitch, man. I looked like Hitch the first time, last time. I never had no allergic reaction before that.
I say that was a sign from God, like this ain't where you want to be.
Yeah.
Y'all want to get back up out of here.
Get out of here.
Man, yeah, but we've been in Dallas almost 10 years now. Kind of pretty much got adjusted to everything except the heat.
Yeah, it's different. You went from extreme cold to heat.
Yeah, it went from the extreme cold to the summers not really being hot as they used to be to the desert.
Yeah.
Well, it's 90. It's 90 today.
And Dallas got humidity, right?
Yeah. Something crazy.
Yeah. It's stuff once you get out the shower.
It's really no large body of water around, so it's straight heat.
Yeah, y'all kind of enclosed, and it get really cold in Dallas too, but not Chicago cold.
It could, not like that. It comes through every now and then. Yeah, Chicago a different type. It's a different breed.
So Chicago native, traveled and moved to Dallas in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
What led to you making that move?
So I got a cousin here in Dallas, and he moved here, I want to say like a year and a half, 2 years before we did. So my birthday, 2014, me and my wife came to visit. You know, that's what we did for my birthday. Like, we gonna go and check Dallas out, see what's going on in Texas. So we came here and, pretty much we liked it. You know, I'm talking about from the time we got off the plane, we was being overwhelmed with Southern hospitality. Like, it's real. Serious. It really is. I was unaware. I had no idea that how the Southerners really feel about the South. Like, they serious about their area on earth. You know what I'm saying? So we was getting hit with that from the time we got off plane to when we went and got the rental car. It was just overwhelming us. So me and my wife, we really liked it. So we had a shop back in Chicago, and funny thing, our lease was coming to an end. So we was also dealing with a slumlord of a landlord who owned the property that we had. So the building was in foreclosure. We didn't find out until late, and she was getting money and acting like she was going to do some upgrades. But the whole time she was just taking the money and pocketing it. Like, it was like any given moment we could come in and be shut down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's just like, what do we do then? So we was like, this ain't feeling right.
Yeah.
So we made a decision. I never forget. We was on our way back to Chicago, and me and my wife just had, we stopped at Starbucks, and we just sitting there silent because we sitting there thinking, like, both of us thinking the same thing. Like, man, I could really see us living here. We thinking the same thing, but we didn't actually say it. Yeah. But we silent. I'm talking about silent. Like, I really don't want to go back. Man, but we can't leave our kids. We got kids in the whole business there, so we got to go on. So it's like, man, we had that conversation, and from that conversation, from June to October, that's all it took. We was packed up and we was gone. It was like God was like, right now is the time, because who knows? You know, you could talk yourself out of doing anything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All it takes is just a little small room of doubt, and then it's like it'll blow the whole thing up. So we was like, if we gonna do it, let's not mull over the idea. Like, if we gonna do it, let's just go ahead and go.
Yeah, right.
And from June to the end of September, we touched down in Dallas October 2nd.
Wow.
So we shut that down like quick. And honestly, it was one of the best decisions we ever made, man. Not gonna lie.
Man, that's beautiful.
Dallas super nice, man.
Man, Dallas is cool. That's what I will say. It's a different pace, but I embraced it from, the hustle and bustle of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with that for 30 plus years of my life. So to get to here and the pace slowed down a little bit, I was like, I could dig this.
Yeah, it seems like it's your vibe.
Man, all the way. All the way. So yeah, that's how that came about.
Let me ask you about that transition, because you said that you owned a shop in Chicago. So did you have barbers that were working under you at that time?
Me and my wife were still pretty much learning the business side of it, being business owners. So we would have barbers and stylists come in here and there, but nobody was really fitting our vibe and our type of style. So we never had really a consistent staff. So it was pretty much me and her. We only had the shop for a year.
Oh, okay.
We only had it for a year. So we were still learning. So
from a position of growth and change and fear, when it comes to the business side, when you moved to Dallas, what was your first steps in regards to getting the barbering off the ground, or was that not even your first steps?
So what we did after we decided that was going to be our move, we went straight to social media. We went to Instagram and we started, hashtagging Dallas barbers, Dallas stylists, and Dallas barbershops and beauty salons. And so we was doing our research like that. So we looking and we like, what we offer is a little bit different than what they're accustomed to, but it was a good different. You know what I'm saying? So we felt like we had something extra to offer the DFW area. So we started from there. And once we got here, like we had no clientele, neither one of us, but we just felt like this is going to work because we know what we have to offer. We know what we know. Yeah. So when we got here, we started with 0 clients, and coming from a city like Chicago where you learn to it's all out grind, and the competition is crazy because the city is, and I love my city. I say it's all the time, but it's real cutthroat. So you learn how to operate in those spaces. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You know what I'm saying? So you building your clientele and everything else you achieving in life in circumstances that's really not fit for you to survive and thrive in. So I'm like, if we could take what we know coming from here and we could position ourselves in Dallas with what we know, I was like, we can't lose. We can't lose. And we're not coming to make ourselves appear like we're better than anybody else or we know more than anybody else. But it was our mindset. We come from a different environment than what it was here. So I feel like everybody in Dallas, they're pretty much comfortable in their positions. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's from upbringing or, lack of competition. But and that's what we seen. Like, man, it's really for the taking. So I'm like, ain't no way we could lose because we know how to get it on this level. There's no way we can't get it. Right. So, and that's what we did, man. We went all in on social media and it paid off, like, serious. It really did. We seen our clientele, me and her, double what we had in Chicago in a matter of months. It was
She's wild. A barber too?
She a stylist. My wife a hairstylist. Yep. So she 20 years in the business. So we seen our clientele double from what we had in Chicago in a matter of months.
Simply off of social media marketing.
Social media,
Man, that's a true testament because at that point in your career, like you was already established in the city of Chicago. You move from a major city to another major city in Dallas and start all over again from ground zero with no clientele, nobody knowing you, but you doing it. You did it and you still doing it. That's huge. And that should be a word of encouragement for anybody out there who's thinking about transitioning from one city to the next or feeling like, man, I'm in this city, but I don't want to start over in another city. Man, you can do it. You just got to, like Ray said, it's the hustle and bustle. You got to grind it out and then get people comfortable with you, get people familiar with you.
And even on top of that is if you're trying to boost your clientele, get to social media, get to social media. What are some of the tactics, Ray, that you would say? Because you speak about content creation and you being just a creative in this space. It seems like you had to think outside the box to be able to attack this new city. And how did you so you say you use social media, but were you using strategic things? Like how did you bring your creativity to that?
Really, it didn't start getting strategic until later. I just knew I had to create content and I had to make myself seen and visible. So in the shop that I got in, I noticed nobody was really using social media at all. And I was just like, wow. don't really think they know. So that's when I got my first camera in that shop, 2014, got my first camera, and I started filming content. And I'm watching everybody looking at me like, what is he doing? Like, like who do he think he is? What do he think this is? This ain't no TV show, man. Get out of here with that. But the crazy thing is, of course, later on down the line, they start doing it. Because they see it was paying off. And I started on YouTube. That's when I started on YouTube too. And I'm kicking myself right now because I wish I had stuck with it then. Like 10 years ago, like I was putting tutorials up on YouTube that was getting
I seen some 15, videos,
20, like 30,000 views. That was 10 years ago. And then I stopped. And that's only because I didn't see further down the line the advancement and really the how that was going to play out. So I stopped, and I really wish I didn't, man. That's one thing I get upset about now. Like I was getting views then, but I didn't see the benefit of other than just views. I didn't know those views could turn into dollars. I wasn't thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like knowing about AdSense and you know, the brands and all that, man, I had no idea that was
crazy.
Coming.
It's crazy, man, because when you look back at your life, there's probably a few small things where you would be like, I should have kept it. I should have kept doing that. Social media is one of them, man. Especially YouTube channels, especially like Delmar. Like Delmar, man, you was big, bro. You was big doing your tutorials. Why did you stop?
Pretty much the same reason. I didn't see the end goal, and I stopped because it was like, okay, I'm getting traction, and then you kind of get lost because there's so many people out there doing tutorials. So it's like, man, what am I doing this for? You constantly compete and compare. You looking at this person got 20,000 views for a fade video. You just did a fade video in your own style, and you got 320 views. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's the point? But to what you all are saying, I'm just getting back into that space. I just started another YouTube channel, and I'm getting into the creative space of being a content creator. Just by what we do every day in this industry. Like, you know, don't overcomplicate it. We had a guest on recently, and he was saying that, you know, a lot of times we overcomplicate what we're trying to do. I have great conversations in my suite every day. Just turn on the camera, get it on wax, you know, take out what I don't want to use, and then, you know, edit what I do want to use. But just to keep the camera rolling and investing in your tools, man, it pays off. It pays off. You just got to be patient.
That's the whole thing. Patience is key, because you never know when something gonna pop, and you never know which piece of content will actually be the one. It could be something that you posted already that nobody's seen or liked, and you just like, this ain't do well, I'ma just leave it. But it could be something, that same piece of content that you posted already, by you resharing it and tweaking it and adding something else that'll blow up. So it's a you know, it's trial and error.
What was
Ray be making
go ahead,
movies.
dude.
No, I was saying Ray be making movies, man. I've seen over the years, like we've been following each other for a while, and I've seen his content change. And he's a master with that camera, man. I'm gonna come back to that word master, because he said something in the video I wanna bring up a little bit later.
Okay, I be saying so much, I be forgetting sometimes.
That's right.
My wife do it to me all the time. Like, you said, I be like, when? Be like, I be saying too much, man. I got to start keeping record of stuff I be saying. I do find myself sometimes going back to something I posted, be like, I don't even remember saying this. But, you know,
sometimes some things just fall in your heart, man. It just be genuine content.
Pretty much. A lot of times it be like that for me.
Go ahead, B. I know you about to say something.
So I like the fact that you are so good at content creation, because what you do, from what I've seen, is you actually understand your point of value. Like, you're really conscious of how you provide value and what you provide value in. And a lot of it has to do with having insight into the client and the client experience, but then two, not the insight of how not to let your own mind stop you from doing what it is that you can do. So I like that about your content. But the part that I love the most is, I would say, the way in which you figure out how to deliver it. Cause you be doing side angles, you be having voiceovers, like in the middle of the fact that you was talking, you do B-roll, all kind of stuff. It'd be cinematography choreography happening. I'll be like,
then he got that radio voice.
and then you got the Delmar.
This is Ray Lucas from Dallas, Texas radio.
Delmar, he be doing your after hours voice, man.
That's hilarious. But yeah, man, it just come from studying, man. And my love for photography came before the video part. And that came from taking pictures of my haircuts. So from studying how to take better pictures of my haircuts, it went off into I just fell into a rabbit hole of the whole video and photo world. So just wanting to get better at that. So that's how it started. And then the video came into play, really getting better at it probably over the last year, man, when I joined the media team at my church. So I work the camera at our church. So I'm one of the guys who walks around at, the handhelds. Yeah. So it's a cinema camera. So I'm getting like either crowd shots or I'm getting the musicians. Yeah. So like learning how to frame shots, and they teaching me, and I'm saying when they gave it to me, because I'm such a fast learner and I'm a visual learner. So I do better with things that I see. Yeah. So you could tell me how to do something 1,000 times and it might not register. Yeah. But if you show me, if you could give me like a visual depiction of what you're talking about, I get that fast. Yeah. So them showing me how to frame up shots and what they looking for, specific things, I learned to transition that into my own content and how to even grade it and make it look more cinematic. Yeah. So it started from there. It started from really just taking pictures of my haircuts and doing little videos of my haircuts. And it just snowballed into a real passion and the love that I have for film and photo. Yeah.
Yeah. Your photos and videos, your content, they tell a story. Yeah. So I wish, man, I know we was talking earlier before we started recording, you said life be lifing, but man, I wish that you would get back on YouTube and start creating some long form content, man. Because just your short form content that you post, man, I love it. Like I'm a big fan of it because of how you, like Bradford say, how you deliver it, the angles. It's really like it tells a story and it speaks to people. And you speak with so much clarity. It's like, man, I can relate to that. Yeah, authenticity. Yeah, that's like Ray sound the same on every video, bro.
I don't know no other way. I really don't know no other way. But to be me, I think if I tried to do anything else, you would notice. Yeah. Because of my personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that really ain't you. Yeah. Like that don't even fit. You know what I'm saying? So I try to make everything I do, I want it to be me and my voice and my demeanor all the way, even if I think I'm being funny, which I don't think I'm a comedian or nothing like that. But even in, trying to make it humorous in a way, I'm going to do it a way that fits me, that's tailored to my humor. So if you dig my sense of humor, I think you're a unique person because I feel like my sense of humor is a little unique, you know what I'm saying? So stuff that people might find funny, I might not think is funny. Yeah. I'm really like behind closed doors, I'm a silly person. Yeah. But you wouldn't get that from my demeanor because my face and all of that is always, it appears to be serious all the time. Yeah. But man, I'm actually like really silly. Yeah.
I bet your wife get the best of it.
Yeah, she do.
Now, you said you got kids too?
Yeah, they not kids, but they our kids. Okay. They 24 and 21. So we have adult children. Yeah. They'll forever be our kids, but they not kids. Yeah, they off. My son is off doing his thing, doing his grown man thing. Proud of him. My daughter attends Prairie View in Houston, so she's doing her thing. Yeah, proud of her. So man, that's honorable. Yeah.
honorable, man. You with your ability to create videos, I really like what you said about being able to take some of the things that you've learned at your church, because that's a very similar story to me. I'm also a part of the media production team at my church. Yeah, so I've learned how to record with an editor's mind.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do that where you understand what you're capturing because of later you know how it's going to be edited, or do you just record and then just edit it later?
My thing is, and this is something I think I have to get better with, and that is like conceptually writing everything down.
Yeah.
So if I get an idea in my head, I'll run with it.
Yeah.
And I could map it out in my head how I want it to go. But I think it served me better if I would just really write the stuff down.
Yeah.
So the stuff that you see me do is something that I thought of, and I probably thought of it over and over again. So I'm adding to it as it go. But it always starts with a thought, and then I could run with it from there because I do understand framing and I understand where the cut needs to go, and when you transition, how the story needs to be told from there. So I want to get better at script, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that that'll help make for a better story. So what you were saying, D, is as far as YouTube go, I'm on my way back because I don't think, and this is me personally, personally, I don't think Instagram is for the type of content that I ultimately like doing. Like short form gets so boring to me sometimes because you only got and you see everybody doing the same thing, and you only got but this amount of time to grab somebody's attention. And if you don't do it like that, it's like on with the next. So I think for those who enjoy long form content, like YouTube is where it's at, because 9 times out of 10, they gonna sit there. And even if it's 30, 40 minutes, if it's entertaining, if you got a story, if you know you're if you have something that'll just garner their attention, they're sent there. Like Instagram, TikTok, all those other platforms, that's for real quick. And it get boring to me, you know, it's because I be wanting to do longer stuff. So that's what everything. Go ahead.
No, what you're saying is super key, because it's the different. It's like I talk about this, like it's the demographic of people and then it's the psychographic of people. And like on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, even they tried to include it. Is there's a person and a mindset that likes short form content, but you'll always find more substantive people that enjoy long form content. They actually are there to learn. They're trying to receive something from you, not just be entertained. And that's why YouTube is it's like a secret weapon for people that have depth, because YouTube is a search engine. It's not just a social media platform. It's a search engine. So people actually type in what they want to receive. And, you know, people that are looking for valuable content from barbers, they'll have places like yourself to go to and just reap a lot of value. They'll have people like, you know, me and Delmar with Elevated Barbers Podcast, his own personal YouTube. Like there's so much positive content that you can get on YouTube specifically. It's a different space, way to differentiate yourself, like you said, because it's not so quick and so entertainment focused. It's not flighty like that.
Yeah, I think it gives you a better chance to be more intimate with the audience, and vice versa, the audience with the creator of the content. So it's like if the people who enjoy the long form content, like I say, they will sit there and they gonna really get into what you're saying and what you're doing, as long as you bring in some type of value, whether it be entertainment, education, or, you know, whatever it is. If that's what they like, then that's what they'll do. So I know that's what I enjoy. So I think the thing is, when it comes to content creation, just do what you enjoy watching. And then that'll take a load off of you. Like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I should be doing. Hey, what do you enjoy watching? What gets your attention when you scrolling? easy. Just do that.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same mindset of you right now, Ray, with the whole, short form, long form content. I think what I'm starting to get into now is the creative space of creating long form content and then, deriving some of my short form content from whatever I make on YouTube. Yeah. But I'm using Instagram and TikTok to drive traffic to my YouTube.
Pretty much.
That's my whole goal. Because I have such a following on Instagram and I'm getting a following on TikTok that I want to drive those people to my YouTube. YouTube is, I like posting long form content, but ultimately the goal is to, be monetized, right? So, that's your passive income. Not really passive because you got to create
passive. Ain't no passive income. I don't think it's a such thing as passive income. You have to do something for it to start flowing.
You do upfront work and then it keep coming. That's passive.
Yeah.
But you got to do that work in front though.
Yeah, that's the move right there though. That is
man.
That's the
Hopefully
goal.
We can bounce some ideas off each other.
Oh, for sure. I'm down anytime.
Yeah. So Ray, man, if you were to look at the camera, look at these young people that are getting into content now, creating, they're trying to find themselves. They're trying to find their passion behind the industry. What would you say to them to encourage them to go after it? Like don't do it passively, but just go after your goals.
Which group of content creators are we speaking about? Barbers or just content creators?
I would say barbers. It's the Elevated Barbers Podcast. We're gonna shape this whole thing around barbers.
The crazy thing, it's the generation that's coming up now who got the better chance at being successful on socials because they pretty much just gonna grab it and do anything. So I think when you at that raw stage, that's the best time because they grabbing their phone, they ain't really caring about lights and sound. They grabbing their phone and they just creating. And those typically are the people that's gonna blow up because they're young and hey, let me just try this. As far when you get further into it, you overthinking things a lot of times. And that kind of get in our way. So I just say, man, just whatever idea you have, whatever you feel like you want to do as far as content goes, just do it. You know what I'm saying? And you could think about how you're going to fine tune it later. But it's a lot of people hesitant to create content because they think the space is overcrowded. And I don't think necessarily that's a bad thing. That just means it's a lot of people that's on these platforms. So the more people on the platform, the more people you have a chance to reach. So if you don't look at it as, man, it's overcrowded, somebody doing this already, somebody doing it already, but they not you. So if you look at it as if you take it from the standpoint of, it's a million people doing this, but it's only one me, and you create from that, I think you got a better chance, man, of really doing something and finding your space in the social media world.
Another reason that people are afraid to create content too is insecurities. I just spoke about that recently. I know with me, syndrome. I was, man, bro, it's real. I know with me, it's definitely real, man, because I stopped for a little while just because of being self-conscious about, the way that I speak, the way I talk, just all kind of insecurities that come up when you're in front of that lens. But like I said in my recent video, man, you got to walk in your confidence. Get out your own way. Get out your own way. Because when you're on your own way, you stop the possibility of a lot of opportunities coming to you. When I started moving myself out the way, man, I'm in month 2 and I'm already having a lot of opportunities being presented to me in this year, man. So
that's what's up. I'm glad for y'all, man. I'm gonna be supporting, and I'm proud to see us doing things, even when we feel like we ain't worthy. You know what I'm saying? What makes us not worthy? Just do it. We worthy, just as worthy as anybody else of achieving success and living the kind of life you want to live. So it don't just have to be them. Why not you?
That's facts. Now, to give a little bit more support, Ray, to the barbers that are trying to create content, a question that always is going to come up is, what camera should I use? And so if you were to try and, talk to your younger self and say, all right, self, from the game that I got, knowing how much money you make right now, this is what I would say would be your best tool to start your journey on the creative space process.
Okay, so my honest answer to that is whatever you have available to you. So whatever it is, if you got a phone, all phones got a camera on it.
Yeah.
So don't look to, I wouldn't look to purchase, say, a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, just getting into content creation. Right. Your best resource would be whatever you have available. You got a Galaxy, use that. You got an iPhone, use that. It's going to do the same thing. And getting those, and the picture quality of these phones is insane nowadays.
Yeah.
So I could post something right now. You wouldn't even be able to, if I asked you what I use, you would think I use the camera when a lot of stuff I use my phone with. So I could point out some stuff right now. You would swear I use the camera, but no, it's the phone. You just learn how to use it. So learn the ins and outs of whatever you got before you try to get to the next level and start purchasing something on the next level. Yeah. Because you will end up getting yourself into something that you ain't prepared for and probably get discouraged with what you just purchased because you don't even know what you're doing. So man, start off with whatever you got. If all you got is a phone, make that phone do what it do until you master learning how to use it. And you will know when it's time to level up because you will just know.
You'll feel the resistance of your growth by your equipment. Your equipment will hunt your growth. But when you first starting out, you'll have so much fun just creating the content, just from your phone, or you'll have fun. But then at a certain point, you're gonna be like, "Hey, man, how do I make it look like this or whatever?" And when you get to that,
when you know it's time to change. Yeah. But the crazy thing is, people, I posted a video a few weeks ago about my camera setup, and people be really thinking I have some high-end stuff. I don't. It's my camera right here. It's the lens is really what does all the work. Yeah, but it's a camera all the time. Man, not at all. It's an EOS RP. It's an entry level, the first full frame mirrorless camera that Canon made. So nobody wouldn't think to grab this now. But I learned to go ahead.
Would that Canon be equivalent to the Sony Z, whatever that thing is?
That would be equivalent to a Sony A7. Like they first mirrorless camera.
Okay, because I have a Sony A7 RT. But what I learned was it's more so you need the tool, the device, because you need the power, right?
Right.
But it's more so the lens and then you understanding your camera, understanding what lens to use for what situation. It's a lot that go into it. So like Ray was saying, don't just jump out in that water trying to get the camera.
I'm telling you, because you're gonna get it and get discouraged. You like, why my stuff don't look like that? It takes some levels and some learning to understand that. But the phones do just as well. So I would say use your phone. Start with your phone because that's probably gonna be the most accessible thing you have anyway for I need something right now. Like, I don't want to miss this moment. Let me do this right now and record the moments.
Yeah. And also doing it with your phone, it gives you an advantage from a speed perspective because you don't have to take something off of a camera, get it into your laptop, change it from your laptop, upload it. You don't got to do any of that. You just take it from your gallery and post it.
Man, that's why you see those kids on TikTok who blowing up. They don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
They have no care in the world about grabbing some fancy camera because they know it's not even about that. It's about the content that they delivering. It's what people like. The quality, the average person don't even know. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know that you use the camera. They could care less. The average person. So it's only the people who operate in those spaces who understand that and know. But the average person on TikTok or Instagram, man, they don't know at all. So
prime example, you can have a cell phone camera, great content, and you can have a great camera and terrible content.
Terrible. So if you don't know what you're doing, what difference do it make?
Man, Ray, I got a question I want to ask you. In a recent video, you spoke about, at the end of the video, it said, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And then you said that people don't talk about the end of that phrase. And then you mentioned another phrase, better is he he who masters many than he who masters one.
Now,
he was talking about diversity in that video. Can we get some clarification on that?
Man, at my age right now, 47 years old, first of all. So all the years of my life, I never heard that full phrase. Never. Not until I was watching it was a podcast I was watching on YouTube, and they asked the guy about that. And then he said, I bet people have never heard this before. But you know, that's not the full phrase. And then when he said it, I was like, get out of Dodge. So the way I feel is we've been handicapped by the jack of all trades, master of none. So we've been manipulated by that phrase, and it telling us that only focus on one thing. You should only focus on one thing, because if you got these things going on, you won't be good at anything. So when I heard that and I dove a little deeper into it, it really blew my mind, because I'm like, this whole time, man, I never heard that before. I never even knew that it was more to it than that. Yeah. And then to hear that, it put everything in context for me. Like, that really make a lot of sense, because just because you good at one thing don't mean you can't be good at multiple things. Yeah. So I guess that it put a lot of stuff in perspective for me, because I always felt like that, like through my whole life, because I feel like God's blessed me with a lot of gifts, you know what I'm saying, and quite a few talents. But I always felt like being a barber that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm gonna focus my attention on, because I don't want to get lost in these other things that I do, and people lose the respect that they have for me as a barber, and I lose my how do I say it, that I lose my name as a barber, and it really stifled me from doing a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. I'm not gonna even lie, because I do feel like I'm gifted in other areas, but in my mind, it's like, you a barber, bro. Chill out. You can't do that. Can't do that. People ain't gonna receive that. Don't nobody care nothing about all of these other things you got going on. You a barber. Cut hair. Like, stop focusing on that other stuff, man. You wasting your time. Cut hair. So I felt like I was trapped in that box for so long. And then, like I say, at my age, to feel that you can expand outside of what you do. Man, it did something to me, man. It made me feel the way. I'm not gonna lie. It made me feel some kind of way. I felt like I was forced. I felt like a slave. I felt like I was a slave to being a barber. Like, that's all you got. That's the talent God gave. That's what you known for. That's what people know you for. So focus on being that, when I have these other passions and I wasn't operating in them. And I feel like, on another hand, that's not fully operating in who God created me to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm more than a barber. So you should express more than cutting hair. So that's where my content took a little shift away from being all about barbering, because I am so many things. I'm a father. I'm a husband. But let me put that in context first. Let me line these things up the way they should be. I'm a Christian man first.
That's right.
Then I'm a husband. Then I'm a father. Then I'm a barber. And then it's all these other things. So it's why not express all of who you are instead of just being a barber? So when I look at the internet now, like, I really pay attention to just barber stuff. You know, I'm fascinated by a lot of things other than barber. You know what I'm saying? So I'm into the word of God. So if somebody bringing a good word about the Bible, I'm tuned into that. I'm tuned into like movies. I love movies. I love music. So you get a lot of that in my content. You know what I'm saying? So just all of these things that make me who I am outside of being a barber, that's where I feel like my content is more geared toward, and I know that Instagram won't be the only hub for that. So I feel like I will have to expand that to a place like YouTube, where I could, make it a longer form. But
you can show people more of you.
Or who I am, and I got a better chance to reach more people that way, because not everybody on Instagram, because I am a barber and that's what they know me as, not everybody is going to take a liking to all of these other things that I do. And I'm fine with that. I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that. I watch my following and my engagement take dips when I change my content, because it's what they want to see, but that's not all who I am. So I feel like I'm gonna cheat myself. I'm gonna be mad at myself if I just keep doing what they want me to do. You know what I'm saying? So I watch my engagement, I watch my following, all of that take a halt when I shift gears. Hey man, I'm fine with that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're gonna have your tribe one way or the other if you be consistent. You know, you be consistent what you do.
Bro. Yeah. For sure. So it kind of, and I ain't gonna lie, even that made me feel some kind of way. It's like, man, y'all don't get it, but it's not for everybody to get. Everybody won't get it. So I'm fine with that. I'm good.
But what's crazy though is that the fact that people don't get it is almost, it goes to prove the point that you've been proven, is you have to be wholly you. You have to be completely you. Like that's the only way that they will ever get it, is if you're being everything that you are. But if you only give a person a piece of you the whole time, and then you start saying, oh, but this is too, like, what? Like that's so different. Like, but if you were always, providing different versions of content that speak to who you are as a person, then people that follow you, they would appreciate all of you as they continue to grow with you. So I think this is going to be the key.
I think eventually they'll catch on. It's just right now it's catching them off guard, because it's such a drastic shift from, just standing here cutting hair to, I'm going to give you barber stuff still, because that's a part of me. There ain't no way around that. So you will always get that. But I think the shift was so drastic, and it's just like, man, I don't know. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that part of Ray. Like, all right, I don't know. Let me just sit back and watch for a little while and see where it's going. But I think eventually it'll catch on.
It'll catch on, man. You have a personality that has a gravitational pull. So you're going to attract those that have value in them. They'll be attracted to you because you do nothing but provide substance.
Man,
so
I appreciate it. I be trying.
You ain't got to try, man. You just be you.
If I reach one person, man, I've done my job. So, man,
you reach two at least right here.
For sure. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I try not to let the whole you get caught up into the algorithm thing, man. It'll drive you nuts, man.
Yeah.
So I don't create for the algorithm no more, because it constantly changes, and you have people online who and this is no knock to them, because I know they just doing their study and they research too, but I don't think it's no way you could fully grab how the algorithm is gonna work, because it's gonna constantly change it. So when I see people say, I could tell you how to do this, I got the key and the remedy to make the algorithm, or algorithm hacks, it's like how you master something that they don't even fully understand yet. And I'm talking about the algorithm. They don't even know how they gonna work, and they steady changing and shifting. So how you master something that they steady switching. So I think that dialogue will always change. So man,
the key is, man, like social media will box us in, us being barbers. Oh, Instagram only want to see you create barber content. Well, that's, like you said, that's not all that I am. That's a part of what I do. I'm a business owner first. Barbering is my product, but there's so many layers to me. Like I'm like you. I love music. I play the drums. Been playing drums in my church for the past 25 years. Man, that sounds old.
Man, get out of here. I did say I'm 47, right?
Yeah, we're a little behind you. We're a little behind. Yeah, but like I love to draw. I like my bass. I haven't touched it in a while, but I like my bass.
Pick that thing back up.
Technology. I do need to, man. I haven't touched it since before the pandemic. It's sitting in that corner looking beautiful, and like, man, play me. But
you just got it. You just teasing it every day. See it every day.
Yeah, man. It's a beautiful piece of furniture right now. But I like to draw. I like technology. I like video games. And, I don't want to create all that in my content, but I do feel like with YouTube, I want to show more of my layers than just being a barber, because if people can connect with you as a person, then you win them over.
Yeah. They just want to know you're human. That's all.
Yeah.
Regardless to what you do, they want to know you go through stuff like them. You deal with stuff just like they deal with in life. life, and not like you this super figure. I'm way up here, y'all down there, get on my level. Nah, you ain't gonna reach nobody like that. So the more relatable you are to people, man, the more, you're liable to get those interactions and have people messaging you and reaching out to you. Man, how you do this? How you do that? And that's it. That's it. Yeah, pick that bass back up, man. Stop playing with that, man.
I'm man. Good, man. Let's let the people see you pick it up for the first time too. Get on there, do a little strum.
Look, I shaved my head on camera for my YouTube video that I'm dropping tomorrow. So
come on with it. I'm gonna be looking out for that.
I blink.
Welcome.
One thing that I realized when it comes to barbers, like most barbers are creative people. I mean, you have to be if you cutting hair, because you have to be able to see the finish before you even start. So that requires some creative processing in your mind. So one thing that I have noticed, like throughout my years of being a barber, is that most barbers have a lot of stuff in common. So if you're a barber, I think like all the things you just mentioned that you do, you either were an artist, you know how to draw, you into music, you play an instrument, you sing, you rap before, you done something in the creative field, you have other things that's creative about you that makes you relatable to other barbers. So I think that is something that most barbers shares, that we all have more than just barbering in common. I have noticed that.
Yeah, we all are people, man. We all are people.
Yeah, besides being people, I'm just talking about the creative side of us. We have a lot of more creative things in common than we think.
Yeah, I agree. Like, that's one of the things that I've found unique about barbering is our connection to people in so many different facets. Like barbers, where some people are chameleons, where they just act like something in front of people. But barbers, man, we really are able to relate to a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons, because usually, like you said, we have different versions of depth to us from a creative space. So we can kind of create a conversation with almost anybody. Like we'll just figure out how to connect with them. Like, okay, you do taxes or you do whatever, and we will figure out a way to connect with them so that they feel comfortable, so that we can deliver the service that they want. I like that, man. Yeah, we are some creative people.
Yeah, we have to be able to have, I mean, other than that, how would you know who you're dealing with when your clients come in? So we deal with so many people and different personalities. Hey, we have to find a way to, they gonna put us in a business anyway, so might as well just ask the question and get the conversation rolling, man, because eventually they gonna put us all in a business, whether we want to or not.
Man, this has been an outstanding episode, man. This has been so good.
Hey, I love it, man. I'm here. I'm all for it.
Oh, I ain't letting you off the hook that easy. I ain't letting you off the hook that easy. It almost slipped my mind. Slipped my mind. So Ray, you yourself also have a podcast, or started a podcast. I believe during the pandemic, you started the podcast.
I started that podcast. Actually, no, I started doing podcast-like content during the pandemic. It's when I first set up the mic and set up lights and put on the after hours voice. That's when it started. So that's where the idea came from. I'm like, if I'm gonna be sitting here and sharing and giving, just being an open book about certain parts of my life, I'm like, I might as well just turn it into a podcast. So it did start from that during the pandemic, and I picked it up last year and came up with the concept for it and how I wanted to roll it out. But I definitely want to get it back rolling, man, because I miss doing it. Even this, right? I could sit and do this all day. I just miss doing it, just sitting in front of the mic and just having open conversations with people. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to give them insight to who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, and to share what you know and how you obtain what you know and what all it took for you to obtain that information. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, you were one of the inspirations that sparked this idea.
Man, appreciate that, man. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, me and Bradford had an opportunity to do something similar to this with the URCEO program. And then, I seen what you you had started doing at the time too. And I talked to Brad about it. I was like, man, why don't we, do a podcast? We both in the space of trying to elevate barbers' mindset from being a barber to being a business owner. I said, man, why don't we do it? And then we started it. It was just us two. We laid down the foundation. And then in season 2, we was like, man, we bringing on guests because it's good for other barbers to hear from other barbers besides just me and Bradford.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, you coming on here, finding your expertise, and you have a reach in Chicago, you have a reach in Dallas, you have a big social media following. So I was like, man, I gotta have my boy Ray on here, man. I've been following him for a while. You got the podcast, you got the sleepy after hour voice. I said, we gotta have him on.
And I could change it if I wanted to, man.
Man, it's authentically
I couldn't if I wanted to. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Brad teased me one time, man, because he said, man, you be on here talking like Ray Lucas, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're on the radio.
He hit me with the Billy D. Williams. I'll be like, man, it's just me and you right now.
Like I wasn't ready. Slow down. Like I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, man. It's dope, man. I like what y'all doing, man. I'm definitely tapped in. So
we appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
big
sir.
Ups.
Yeah, big ups for real.
Man,
man.
Shout out to the boys, man. Shout out to the boys.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Mr. Ray Lucas too, man, for clearing his schedule. And being a part of our podcast, man. That's major key.
Man,
y'all don't know on YouTube, man, or whoever's listening to this, y'all don't know the amount of exercise we have to do to get these guests on, man. And the amount of sacrifice that they make to get on. It's not a small task to ask somebody to clear their schedule for an hour, 2 hours to just be on and share gems with the community. But for people like yourself, Ray, man, we super appreciate the fact that you would take time out of your day and do this.
Doubt. When you have love for the craft and you respect what your peers is doing, it's really like a no-brainer, man. Like, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how, watch my back, I got your front, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We just, I feel like that's how it should be. It's so much other nonsense that go on in the industry. So when you got a chance to support somebody and show love and you see what they doing and you actually like the product that they have, it's like, why not? It's a no-brainer. So I like what y'all doing, man. I'm supporting y'all 100. So whatever I could do, just let me know.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. You got to show me how to get my YouTube footage cinematic like yours, man.
Oh, man, no doubt. No doubt. I put together a whole course and I never put it out. So
man, you got to do
like
that.
I say, like life started life, man, and I had to take a little step back from it, but I'm gonna make sure I finish that because I have quite a few people who ask me about the content creation and how I do what I do. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure I get that out.
Well, let us know, man.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Y'all first on the list.
Solid.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, this has been an outstanding episode. Everybody that's online, I know they just completely appreciated your time today, Ray. And if there was any closing words that you would say to those barbers that are trying to create content, and not, it doesn't even have to be about the content creation space, just being a barber, being a young man or a young woman that's growing up in this life right now, what would you say to them to give them some encouragement?
What I would say is, man, just be a person of integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you say you're going to do, just be one of those people who actually fall through and come through. Like be a man, be a woman of your word and operate in pure integrity. And I don't think there's no way you could lose.
Man. Well, mic drop. That's the way we go end this show. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Elevated Barbers, we are coming to you one more time with value, nothing but value. So hopefully you enjoyed, and we are out. Peace.
1, 2